All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Elder Rufus, Brother Jamie, Brother Devlon, and Brother James. We've been here the last few days, and the reason why we're giving these updates is because the people at Straightway like to know what we're doing. We'd like to send a shout out to Elder Doug, thank him for his calculations and his computations, and if you want to call it that, I make up words as I go. But Elder Doug, he was down here, a couple weeks ago, doing the electric. Doing electric and stuff like that. So we're getting things done. We're getting it squared away and stuff for them to go ahead and start moving in. Of course, there's always stuff to be done. What did you learn so far in your learning experience of actually acquiring some land and having a home? It's pretty tedious, huh?
Extremely tedious, and I learned that the little stuff is the most important stuff. You know, the little grunt work that nobody wants to do, that's the stuff that makes the rest of the stuff that everybody likes to look at, it make that stuff go easy. But if you don't do that right, it just screws up everything else.
So there's no job, no matter how great or small. You know, a lot of people have the attitude that, okay, I'm doing this little job right here, this little petty job. It's all important, isn't it?
All of it.
Every bit of it is important, because if you don't do that right, then you run into snags and it takes more time for the job later on.
Yeah.
More money, more time. Exactly, more resources. What do you learn, Brother Devin?
I learned that having a community is a lot of hard work, physically and spiritually. We've learned how to build steps, padding, flooring, carpeting. We're going to learn to do some electrical and some plumbing on today. We pretty much learned how to do this mobile home from the ground up, because we have to redo everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, my advice to anybody out there who's planning on coming this way, you don't need to wait until you acquire a piece of land or have a little trailer or something like that in order to get started. You need to go ahead and educate yourself right now. You need to go ahead and buy you some self-help books on electric, books on plumbing, books on framing, and you need to read those books, because even though you don't have the practical application where you have hands-on, you have it in your mind. And so when you do get the hands-on, you'll make less costly mistakes, because 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, and 2x10s run a lot of money, and you don't want to make too many mistakes.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you want to minimize your mistakes, because a lot of us don't have deep pockets like Brother James do. You know, we just don't have them pockets that's that deep like that. So, you know, we have to use wisdom, and we have to be very careful and very sober about things that we do, because we don't want to continue to keep trying to keep this economy afloat by continually keep running to Home Depot or Lowe's, buying something that which if we would have paid more attention, we wouldn't have to make the same mistakes again. So this is just wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Take my advice, believe you me. There's one thing that I always say: the people with the argument is always at the mercy of the ones with the experience. And whenever you have people come around that's experienced and done this and stuff, I know your mind operates and it tells you, okay, this would be the best way, this would be the best way. But you take experience, and when you have it, listen to what they have to say, because they can save you a lot of costly mistakes. Yes. Is that right?
Yeah.
And a lot of time. Yes. And a lot of time. So pay attention to those who have wisdom to know how to do what you haven't done. Learn humility, how to humble yourself. And when you do that, you'll go a long way. You got anything you want to add, Brother James?
I'm just happy to be here.
He's just happy to be here. That's Brother James. Brother James has done pretty much tore out the whole entire bathroom in there and redid the plumbing and everything else, because you know how it is when you're dealing with trailers. So whenever there's problems with trailers, especially on the flooring, we don't use the same old wafer type, whatever that stuff is they use. We actually use the 3/4 inch plywood, because if there's a future hazard that may take place, God forbid, that water hits the place, you know, the plywood won't bubble up and wafer up and look like a wave pool, and you won't have to deal with that again. It eventually will dry out and won't hold the water and the moisture. But we had a wonderful time down here. I'm going to be going back today. Brother Jamie probably going to be going back with me, and Brother James is probably going to be here with the brother and to finish up, because they're coming up tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah.
Coming tomorrow for atonement. So he'll probably be here to help finish up and give them the expertise that they need to finish up a lot of the little small things that we're doing right now in bulk. So Straightway will be home, I don't know, sometime this evening. You'll hear the truck, believe me, you always know you'll hear the truck when it's coming. But if you're out there, go and buy the self-help books right now. The plumbing, the electric, and the framing. That's the main ones you need first. Get those down first, and then you can go into carpeting, cabinets if you want to do stuff like that. But I think that I'm giving good advice for those of you out there who have never had the experience of home ownership, land ownership, and the things you're going to be involved with, because you got a whole brand new learning experience in front of you. And it's best for you to not waste time trying to learn it when you could have been burning the oil. Instead of watching TV, instead of playing video games, you get them books in front of your face.
Yeah.
All right. Instead of going and thinking you've done something because you got a 9-to-5 job, you should have been out here with us the last 3-4 days. When you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work to 8, 9 o'clock at night. The video I did yesterday, I was thinking it was 6:30. It's actually 7:30 here,
Right.
and we were still going at 7:30, and we've been going all day long. And that's just what it takes. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of pain right now in order to enjoy the fruits of your labor later. All right? So with that said, we're here at Straightway with Georgia with Elder Rufus and Brother Devlon. And then we have Straightway, the brother here at Straightway. Thank you, Elder Doug, for all the wisdom and stuff you've given us. Because, you know, a lot of people don't see Elder Doug behind the scene, because a lot of times we'll call and ask him questions about certain things because we don't have the computer sitting in front of us, and Elder Doug is the expert at home that knows how to do all that calculation. So he'll do all that. I'll send him measurements. He'll go ahead and figure it out and send them back to me, and then we'll get it going from there, because it's a team effort at Straightway. I know all the saints at Straightway miss us, and we miss y'all greatly. I hope y'all are doing well and y'all in peace and contented. You're still continually working hard. All the sisters homeschooling your children. Make sure you focus on schooling your children. Don't let nothing pull you away from schooling your children, because their education is very, very important. Mothers are first-line teachers, and you ain't going to have your children too long. So you need to make sure that you're not diverted too much from schooling your children. Hallelujah. With that said, we say shalom to each and every last one of you.
Shalom.
Be at peace. King coming.